Chair, Conference, David Ward, Ashford CLP. 30 years ago, I was privileged to work as head of policy to the late and much missed former Labour Party leader, John Smith. Today I'm speaking to propose Composite 8 on electoral reform. I've lived in the Tories' so-called blue wall in Kent for over 20 years. In the last general election, Labour won 25% of the vote, but we elected just one MP. Compared that to the Tories' 16, and you can see the problem we face. Labour's voice, Labour's voters, Labour's purpose to defend ordinary people are being strangled by first past the post. You don't have to look far to see the challenges our country faces. The skyrocketing cost of living looks set to push family budgets to breaking point. Now more than ever, we need a government which will deliver the interests of ordinary people. Instead, we have a Tory government which, as we saw with last week's obscene budget, prioritising protecting bankers' bonuses and cutting taxes for the rich. The Tories can get away with this because our current electoral system lets them. Their trickle-down economics are underpinned by trickle-down democracy. A system which hands all the power to a small number of voters in marginal swing seats, leaving millions of us unrepresented in Westminster. The result is a government which bears no resemblance to the one that most of us voted for. All of us in the Labour Party want social justice and a more equal society, and that must be based on the fundamental principle that all votes should count, no matter where they are cast. We know there is overwhelming support for proportional representation across our party and within the wider Labour movement. And that's why today we're asking Conference to make a historic commitment in favour of fair votes. The right-wing press will say now is not the time to talk about democracy, yet they do so as they cheerlead one of the most anti-democratic governments I've seen in my lifetime. They support the status quo because the status quo supports them. They do not want Labour to win, but Conference, we will win. And when we do, we will deliver the fairer and greener future we all want, and at the heart of that will be a fair electoral system. It falls to Labour to stand up for the millions of ordinary people who so desperately need a government on their side, with a voting system which no longer leaves them behind. I urge you, support this motion, Composite 8, for proportional representation.